Well, we're down to about 17 or 18. I don't know how the roads are going to be. It's going to be great. The first part of it anyway. We're going to Marietta, which is a ghost town, and check that out, and some mines around there. So it's about, I don't know, 10 o'clock. It started too early. The moon is going down now, so it should be a pretty dark night. And hopefully some good sunsets. So let's get going. Now this kind of reminds me of the High Plains Drifter. Right at the very beginning of the movie when the stranger is riding into town. He's riding into Lago, but in our case here, it's the ghost town of Marietta. Let's see, where is it? Right out there. Well, I always like getting out and looking at the tracks of critters. These are obviously burrows. They look like the hoof print of horses, but a lot smaller. Oh, there's one. That's pretty obvious. You can just barely make out Marietta over there on the right side of the marsh. It's actually a playa, dried lake bed, but they call it Teels Marsh. And in the far distance there, you can see the eastern flanks of the Sierras. Snow on them. Should be pretty if we can get some good views of that. We're coming down into Marietta here. The story of Marietta is kind of interesting. It was in its heyday in 1877, and it only had hundreds of people, but it had tens of saloons. That's a pretty high number per person. And there was a lot of crime, murders, and there was 1 week when the stagecoach was robbed twice. Definitely wouldn't want to be a stagecoach driver back then. So this is where the 20 mule team Borax company started. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It used to be kind of a brand name for laundry soap. Boraxo. So what they did was they scraped the minerals off of the playa out there and dissolved them in really hot water, boiling water. And then whatever was dissolved was poured off into another vat and allowed to cool with iron rods sticking down in it. So the borax would form crystals around the iron rods. And then they'd pull those out, scrape them off, and they had pure borax. Probably started out as a rubble pile, and I went to a lot of work to pile up in orderly walls and things, and now it's returning to a rubble pile. Some kind of moral to the story there, I'm sure. So this is beautiful downtown Marietta. Obviously their rules don't allow skyscrapers here. There are actually still some people living here. My guess is that this was the place they stored the borax as a kind of a staging area before they put it into the 24 mule team. Looking at a road that's on the map. And it goes up to a mine, an abandoned mine up there. Looks like nobody's used this road in a long time though. I'm gonna try. After crossing a really bad washout, we got on this road here, and you can see right about there, there's a kind of a rock fall that goes across the road, and it's really off camber. A bit scary. Very narrow road too. But, as you can see, I made it up. Yeehaw! Wow, this is a top 10 camp spot for sure. This flat spot is where the mine here was worked. It was really hard getting over that road. I filmed some of the road, but there's a huge washout with pretty large rocks in it and loose rocks. So I walked up and down the stream there, trying to find the best place to cross. And it wasn't that bad, but you know, when you're solo, you have to be a bit careful, a lot careful. But it's too early. It's just too early in the day, but this is such an incredible spot. It's very tempting to stay because I'm not going to come back here later. So maybe I'll stay, do some exploring, see if I can find the mine entrance, crawl around up there. I'll look at the map and see what's further up the road. This might be worth it. Just take a day and rest. I took an early camp today, but boy, is this worth it. It's going to be incredible. You got a small sunset, but it sure is gorgeous. The colors. Starting up the fire here. This view is something else. Fry up the tortillas, put them in your plate. And then while you're warm, you blacken the fish and then stick it on the tacos. Fill it with avocado, mango, and cilantro and some hot sauce. Put the fish in now. This is kind of stolen from Paul Prudhomme. We used to take redfish in New Orleans and blacken it, and now everybody blackens fish. This means cooking it real hot. Doesn't take too long. And I use the Mexican spices, so chilies, Mexican oregano, cumin. Delicious. So, blackened fish, rockfish in this case, and some of your favorite Mexican hot sauce. One of my favorite things. Good morning. I've got just about everything prepared. I have a coffee grinder, coffee beans, already ground it. And then this is my espresso maker. I already got the grounds loaded in there. And then I have just a little insulated cup that I keep ice in. So I've got ice in my cup because I like ice lattes. So I am now, and I've also got the water warmed up. So you make espresso, pour it over the ice, and then put some milk in it. So here is the process. Put a little bit in there to prime it. Get the ground sort of moistened and warmed up. And then you fill this up the rest of the way. And then you just press it through. It supposedly has the right amount of pressure for true espresso. And you just pull this thing off the bottom. And I'll clean all this stuff up later. I keep milk in my cooler and the ice. And there you are. And let me tell you, it's a wonderful thing in the early morning. Here's to whatever you're drinking. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Yikes, that was really, really off camber. And it was due to rock slides, so also mushy road. Shelf road, obviously, and a very poor one at that. So I just drove through it. Not worth getting photos of it. I had the drone out just in case I tumbled down the side of the mountain and could have got epic shots of me getting killed, or at least getting a broken bone or two. The rest of this is okay. It's just a crappy road, as you can tell. So here's that big wide washout I was talking about. It's not so much a washout as a dry stream bed. It looks like it gets water quite often, probably through flash floods. You just kind of have to have faith to go straight across where the road leads and go out on the other side. I can't really see any tracks in it. And obviously, if you take the wrong line across here, it could be some trouble. I will say that I'm sure glad I got the rig lifted a little bit, so it makes it a lot more comfortable. And obviously, I made it out. That looks like a loading dock of some kind. There's all sorts of debris here, like it's an old broken off shovel. The blade here is broken. Handle's gone. And I've crossed a couple of these trenches that I'm sure are dug. You can see there's kind of tracks at the bottom going through this, alluvial gravel here. I wonder whether it isn't, they really did have 20 mule teams pulling borax and salt wagons out of here. I wonder if they made these to be as smooth and as straight as possible so that the teams didn't have to turn. It must be hellish trying to take a corner with those giant teams. Ah, found the shovel, another shovel. That one's missing its handle. So they were doing some shoveling here. Funny how if garbage is old enough, it becomes some kind of archaeological treasure. Man, they're made with rebar though. Meant to be sturdy. Like maybe a bridge or a pipeline or something going across. And as usual, it's currently a pack rat nest. Well, you see a lot of things out here in the desert. One thing's for sure, they should have called Matt's Off-Road Recovery.
And now it's stuck. It's out here on the East Rim Trail. We're going to get it out.
Too late now. Well, that's not only the road, but it's a critter trail. In fact, it's a critter highway. And that big, long print makes me think it might be a rabbit. Not very distinct otherwise. Rabbits are known to make trails, though. They have their own places they go, check for food, or have little critter confabs. So that's my guess. Unless anybody knows better. This is the kind of road I've been going up. It's a lot of it's pretty easy, smooth, sandy road. We're going through granite, and granite erodes into nice sand when it's exposed to erosion. That's because the granules of granite are formed underground and slow cooling. And so that causes them to separate into feldspar and the other minerals that are inside granite. And then when they get eroded, they go into those little granules. Here's the nice spot. Ah, so smooth. This does look kind of like a nice place to put cattle. It's a big kind of a depression. It's been here a while, but it's been modernized. Used to have a probably a windmill, shorthorn cattle. They have something different out there now. What do you want to bet it's locked? Well, I don't know what your bet was, but it's not. And that is, okay, so some of the solar is for a pump. It used to have a windmill, I think, but that is a wellhead. Okay. By the way, that is to put a saddle on. Saddle tree. The other side is the pump house, but this looks like a bunkhouse here. Oh, not locked. Okay. Knock, knock. Oh, look at this. A lantern. Some supplies. Like a gas stove. Fridge. Bedding. Holy moly. Cleaning supplies. A wood stove. Wow, this is a nice setup. 2 beds. And a logbook. I'm going to have to leave a message saying how much I appreciate them letting me look around. Wow, what a gem of a cabin. I tried to tune their guitar, but I was afraid I was going to break the strings. Look pretty old. Onwards. Looks like mama and baby. Yeah, she's a little concerned. I better move on. That was a lot easier than it looked at first. Well, I just got through a section that I can't believe I got through. It was a rock garden on a pretty steep hill, and I'll guarantee that my old rig would not have made it. It's one of those things where you're on a good road, and then suddenly you're not. And if you're not quick about it, you can't even turn around. I hope it doesn't get that bad here. But as you can see, it's not exactly great. It's not going to be making a lot of progress fast. Got off those nasty rocks, and now we're in kind of gorgeous little valley with sandy road. It's not traveled very much though, so pinstriping, but I don't really care about that. Just beautiful. It's a little early to stop, but I'm tempted if I find a good spot. And you get these little canyons you got to go through. But they're not too bad usually. He said getting stuck. Very pretty though. Quite a bit of snow, but it's melted in most places, just patchy. Well, I don't mind saying that was a bad road. Some pretty nasty rock gardens, some of them with snow on it, slick. So I'm stopping here. This wasn't an established camp, so I probably won't have a campfire. Should be an incredible view of the sunset. That's the Eastern Sierras right there. And out there is Lake Mana. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. It's the Eastern Sierras right above Highway 395, which is a really incredible scenic highway. It goes down to Death Valley. And right there, you can't really tell, but there's Lake Mana's right in that basin there. Let's go check it out. Well, here's one that is steep and it's really loose sand. And there I'm testing four-wheel without lockers. Right about now, I'm switching on lockers. Much better. That's the way it works. Oh yeah, this view is pretty spectacular. Well, in categorizing critter prints, that critter right there sure looks like a deer. Oh yeah, you can see the point of the two-toed hoof of a deer. So it was traveling in that way. I'm traveling up a road into a BLM managed wilderness study area. And the road is the only place you're allowed to drive. Otherwise, it's backpacking only. But that's fine because it is gorgeous. So I'm taking this road down to see if I can get to the lake shore. It shows it going there on the map. And as always, looking at critter prints, that is a coyote. You see them crossing from track to track on the road every once in a while. Leaves them pretty distinct. Fairly fresh too. It's impossible to tell whether it's a dog or a coyote just by the track. But a dog wouldn't be crossing back and forth like this. That's for sure a rabbit. See him going off that way. He's coming down this way, and there's a lot of prints around. And this poor guy. Coyotes had a feast on that one.